Hello there, I am Jenny Crowe. I am the MBLS Digital Education Manager at the University of Glasgow, and I'm also a PhD student at the university. And I'm going to talk to you today about the virtual coffee sessions I've been running with our affiliate online students, and I've been running these in Gathertown along with one of my colleagues, Matthew. So you might think that virtual coffee is a bit of an interesting concept. It actually came out of lockdown when quite a number of our learning technology staff were all based at home, and we really missed the community and being able to bounce ideas about. And we have lots of different learning technology staff based across the university, and it was really great to get to know people. So Gathertown is a relatively new platform. It's a virtual world. There is a free account for less than 25 participants, or there is an educational discount for larger sessions. It can have a password protected space, which is really nice for privacy, and there has been some work done at the University of Glasgow to look at data and privacy, which is really helpful. This is my little avatar that I created, and it's really easy to customize. Unlike some other virtual worlds, it's quite minimal. You can change the skin color, the hair, the clothes, but it's quite simple, and that's one of the great things about Gathertown. And it's all fully browser based, so there's no download and install. This is the space that I created in Gathertown. I watched some help guides on YouTube as I was recommended by a colleague, and then I customised one of their templates, and I found it really easy to do that compared to starting from scratch. I even added in some teens pets, you'll see my little dogs and cats, to make it more of a welcoming space. One of the things that I wanted to do was create a larger sofa space for our students to meet together. Each of the different spaces with carpet are group private chat spaces, so if you're standing within those spaces, you can hear everybody else. Otherwise, you need to be located quite close to the person to be able to hear them. So that was something that I was really keen about with Gathertown. This is the editing screen in Gathertown. The numbers are the spaces of the private chat areas. The spaces in red that have a slight red highlight are unpassable spaces, so you can't stand there. The green space is where students land in when they click on the link. And the orange space is spaces that you can speak to the whole room. The groups of students were students studying MScs with us. Invited them per their MSc programme. The MSc programmes that I look after are 3-year programmes part-time, and we really wanted to build community within those programmes to really help students chat to one another who maybe wouldn't have met before, to kind of build community. I wanted to make sure that students were available at the same time, so I sent round either a Microsoft form or Moodle Choice to try and gather when they would be available to get the best possible timing, because our students work full-time quite often, are in different time zones and have different commitments, so we wanted to try and get a good majority of them free at the same time. So how did it go on a day? It was a bit mixed. We only started running these sessions in the autumn, so we've only done a few so far, so it can take a bit of time to ramp up the popularity of these things. Some sessions only one student turned up to, which is a bit disappointing. Other students had 4, which was a bit more encouraging and enabled a lot more chat. What I hadn't appreciated when starting the sessions was that actually myself and my colleague Matthew had to do quite a bit of facilitation to get the students chatting to one another, because a lot of them hadn't met in person or hadn't really had much interaction with each other. So we really had to start the chat, which we didn't really appreciate. And afterwards, what I wanted to do was gather some data for my PhD on belonging. And so I sent around a 10-minute survey with both Leichhardt and open questions to gain feedback of what students thought about Gathertown, and also if it made a difference for how connected they felt to the university, their peers and staff. Here is some of the student feedback about what they liked about Gathertown, so I'll give you a moment to read that. And this is what they didn't like. This shows a chart of how they rated GatherTown compared to other tools that we use in the online programmes in the area of building community. So overall, GatherTown was seen as a good option for them, better than average. And this was some of the comments that students shared about what they thought about the session in relation to building community. So we have just started running these sessions, so I think there are limitations to the research that I've already gathered, but there's definitely room for more research and more surveys to be completed, and I think it does take some time for these things to get popular. So it's definitely a kind of work in progress. And these were some other comments that students made that I'm going to explore in the future about what the difference is between the different years, first to third year, and also whether it would be helpful to have academic staff involved in these sessions or whether it's best to only have the students. So yeah, it was an interesting time. I think trying to get students involved in optional sessions is really difficult, particularly when they have a lot of competing demands of doing their courses, life and work balance and time zones. So it has been a general struggle for us to get students to attend these sessions. Yeah, and I think it's been a really interesting time, and we've really found that GatherTown was really easy to use from a setup point of view and for the students accessing it. One of the things that we noticed that was there wasn't really any technical problems that students highlighted, which was really great compared to some other systems. So yeah, very happy to take any questions and glad I was able to keep up with the timer.